On November 12, 1996, one of the deadliest mid-air collisions in aviation history occurred over India. This tragic event involved Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763 and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907. Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763, a Boeing 747, was en route from Delhi to Dhahran. It carried 312 passengers and crew. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907 was approaching Delhi from Shymkent with 37 people on board. Both flights were on a collision course due to miscommunication and errors in altitude instructions. The collision occurred near the village of Charki Dadri, about 100 kilometers west of New Delhi. Both aircraft were under the control of Delhi Air Traffic Control. Due to language barriers and technical limitations, the pilots of both planes misunderstood the altitude instructions given by ATC. At 6:40 p.m., the two planes collided at an altitude of 14,000 feet. The tail of the Saudi Arabian Boeing 747 sliced through the fuselage of the Kazakhstan Ilyushin Il-76. Both aircraft disintegrated mid-air, leading to a catastrophic loss of life. Rescue teams were dispatched immediately, but there were no survivors.
It's a seat. At back of the seat.
The debris was scattered over a wide area, making the recovery operation challenging. The crash claimed 349 lives, making it the deadliest mid-air collision in aviation history. An investigation led by the Indian Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, revealed that the primary cause was pilot error.
From this, it is clear that Kazakhstan Airways knew it was to fly at 150, that is 15,000. That Saudi Arabia was cleared to fly to 14,000, and that the vertical distance between them was 1,000 feet, which is the standard accounting, as Mr. Kola has said. That both the planes were aware of each other's approach, especially the Kazakhstan Airline, which asked question on what is the distance now between us.
Due to miscommunication and non-adherence to ATC instructions. The investigation also highlighted systemic issues in air traffic control procedures and the need for better communication protocols.
Radar which we have today in Delhi is a primary radar, and it's a fairly old one, probably installed somewhere in 70s, I believe 73 or so, roughly about. Exact date I'm not aware right now. And this being a very old equipment, the echo, the radar echo which we get is not up to the mark, firstly. Secondly, being a primary equipment only, we do not get any information regarding the heights of the aircraft. We only get the range and bearing, that what we call the direction and the distance from the radar.
There was no backup for the pilot, and so when the pilot made a mistake, there was no backup for it. I think that if a situation arises where the consequences of a mistake by the pilot are disastrous, then the system definitely needs a backup and a double backup even if necessary. In this particular case, when the aircraft are on a reciprocal course, the 1,000 feet separation did not prove to be adequately safe. And the lesson which emerges from it that there should have been a lateral separation.
Especially the aircraft which are coming into India or going out of India from the CIS countries. We have little trouble with them. Earlier also, it has been on record as such. That is, these aircraft normally do not maintain actually the height which has been assigned to them. They are either a little higher or a little lower than. And it could be probably because their equipments are basically in the matrix system.
The people are saying that the Air Force did not clear the civil aviation for an alternative route, but this has been denied by the Air Force. Even if there was one corridor, the corridor was wide enough for the controller to ensure a lateral separation when he sees the two aircraft going head-on. And this was not laid down and it was not adhered to.
Following the accident, several changes were implemented to improve aviation safety. The introduction of mandatory English language proficiency for international pilots and the implementation of the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, TCIS, were key outcomes. These measures have significantly reduced the risk of mid-air collisions globally. The tragedy of November 12, 1996, remains a somber reminder of the importance of safety in aviation. The lives lost in this disaster are remembered by their families and the aviation community. It's a stark reminder that every measure must be taken to ensure such a tragedy never occurs again. Aviation safety has come a long way since 1996, but constant vigilance is necessary. We honor the memory of those who perished by continuing to strive for the highest standards in aviation safety.
चुप रहे यार